Oh, and this is how we get down. What's good, everybody? Welcome into 2 hours of domination on the Stadium Network. I am Heel Coach, and there is a reason I am here this morning. 1 second as I handle my business on social media, because I've got a message that needs to go out. Let's repost that. Where are we at? Okay, didn't get that done. So we are launching a brand new segment today, because last night, one of the worst performances in the history of sports betting happened by Kent State and Mark Carney. He's a brand new head coach. He was the interim head coach. We had him as one of our best bets. So starting today on TikTok, we are launching a brand new segment called What Are We Doing? And it'll be hosted by Heel Coach. Because if you watched that game last night, it was perhaps the worst head coaching job in the history of time management, of play calling, of just coming off the interim tag. So look for it on our brand new TikTok page today. And I promise you, Heel Coach will deliver. Brutal. But shout out to my guy, Raphael, who got the job done 2-0 yesterday. Now, today's a really, really big day here at the brand. Every single Thursday, right here on the Stadium Network. We have 2 hours. Coach and Company, 10 to 11. Then coming up at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, it's the Coach and Bro Show. But a very special show this afternoon. Of course, 2 to 4 Eastern Time, Sirius XM Off the Ropes. But at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, we've been trying to get him for a minute, and we got him today. Subscribe to our BTT YouTube page. Turn on your notifications, because Karrion Killer Kross will be live today, and we're going to talk about all of it. His leaving WWE, what happened. He is polarizing. He is unique. He is smart. And you do not want to miss this interview later today at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, we also have a premium pop-up tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, getting you set for live betting Thursday Night Football, one NBA game, college football. So if you're not a premium member yet, I encourage you to do so. Then if you watch on YouTube, you get a little star next to your name and a few little added perks, but it's a ton of fun. It pays for itself in 1 or 2 live bets. It'll be me, Mikey P, and Raphael tonight. But I need to be lifted up. I need to be in a better mood after the Kent State Flashes blew it last night. So the housekeeping is done. I've got the A team here today. So let's launch our 2 hours. I think. Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Let's beat the books. Oh, look who we have today. What a motley crew this is. So we have a little thing here that if you have the best day as far as picks are concerned, you get to go first. Raphael, my rock solid guy. You, sir, are my numbers guy. You get the 15 seconds. 2-0, go.
Yeah, looking for another 2-0 today. Love the card today in hockey and prop bets. Even though it's not the greatest Thursday night football game, but there's tons of betting value tonight on Thursday night football.
Did you just say it's not the greatest game, or did you say, hey, any game can be a good game? I think that's what you meant to say, right?
Yes, but I think there's
positive
value in the prop bets. There's great value in prop bets.
Great value in prop bets. Got it. Positivity today. Now, speaking of positive, I always like it when our resident curmudgeon throws a little bit of personality out there in the real world. And we just had Halloween less than a week ago. And this man, oh, did he ever get into the Halloween spirit? Say good morning to my cousin Zeno. Good morning, Zeno.
Look at that. We did pretty well, didn't we? You kind of nailed it.
Right.
By the way, the shoes for that I'm wearing and the Joe Pesci shoes in the movie cover, fantastic.
I just had one word came to mind as I looked at that picture, and I'm sure I can speak for everybody.
Oh, okay.
Overachieved. Big time, you, sir, did. And I'm sure you had a good time. So thank you for sending that in when going to the Georgia-Florida game. Now, he is live from Memphis, Tennessee. He's a host of Weekday Wagers. My man, DG. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Coach. Morning, guys. Yeah, nothing happening in Memphis. No drama around John Morant. Everything is quiet here on the home front. So that's a great day.
And the man who's from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and there has been a lot of news this week surrounding the Dallas Cowboys and what happened on Monday night. Say good morning to the youngest member of our crew, young Peyton Lodge. Good morning, King Lettuce.
Morning, guys. A double header here in Fort Worth tonight in the Schulmeyer Arena. TCU women's basketball tips off at 4 against North Carolina A&T. Men's tip off at 7 on TNT tonight against St. Francis. A little something special happening at halftime tonight as young Peyton will be playing in a 3-on-3 tournament in the Schulmeyer Arena. If anyone wants some player prop action on that, you just let me know.
What's your over-under on the team total or on your own total?
It's got to be 10.5. The game's to 12, so.
Give me the under. Give me the under.
Give me the under. 2 takeaways. TNT goes from the NBA to just any random college basketball game they can get on their air.
Yeah, I heard whoever loses the home opener to New Orleans gets to be on TNT the next game. So that's what I heard.
It's a hell of a consequence. Also, if you don't have somebody shooting video that we can roll into the show tomorrow, you are fired, sir. You will never be on the show again. Can we do that?
Of course.
We know how that jumper is. You've done that in the Hollywood Hills as the ball went all the way down the hill when you were talking trash on Soupy. It was worth the cost of the ball, though. It was worth the cost of the ball. All right, gentlemen, we have been on kind of this for the last couple of weeks when it comes to picks. And I know everybody out there is struggling too because these results are banana land. But I know today we're heading back in that right direction. But it takes grit. It takes guts. It takes somebody stepping up to be a. I think he beat you. I think he beat you. All right, Raphael, right into the camera. Say it with conviction. Best bets, go.
I don't know the definition of struggle because I went 2-0. We're going to roll in it today. We're going to go with the Raiders team total under 16.5. Their last 2 road games, they scored a total of 6 points. I don't see them putting that many points on the board. I see a low-scoring game. I'll take the team total under 16.5. And give me some college football also on Thursday night. Give me Appalachian State first half minus 3.5. Georgia Southern, every road game they played this year, they've lost by double digits. I think App State puts a butt whipping early on them. I would also look at first quarter. I think Appalachian State easily wins this game, covers first half, and covers first quarter.
I'm going to fall out of my chair the very first time you don't say butt whooping and you actually say what grown men say in real life. Thank you. Thank you. You're going to, at some point, you're going to get so fired up, you're going to say, and then all of us are going to fall over. It'll be hilarious. All right. Let's come next door. DG, what do you got today? Let's go.
Yeah, we're going to go to the college gridiron here. We're going to go UTSA at South Florida over the 67.5 points at minus 110. There might not be as many football, I guess, touchdowns just overall in the football game tonight on Thursday night. But here in the college game, we're going to have that because both teams, they average 64 points in their games on the season. They're both at 34 plus points per games. I expect this to be like a 40-30 type of game. Now let's go over to the association. We're going Derek Jones Jr. tonight for the Clippers over 11.5 points at minus 110. There's no Kawhi. There's no Harden. DJ's went over this in 5 of 7 on the season just as a whole. I expect him to be the beneficiary of no Kawhi and no Harden tonight as he gets his points.
It's driving me insane. We're already there. We're 2 weeks in, DG, and we're already with no Kawhi and no. Oh, God. Drives me absolutely insane. That's the only game tonight, by the way, on the road in Phoenix. The Suns have been really fun to watch this year, although they're 3-5. They've been really, really fun to watch. By the way, the UTSA South Florida, they're part of that group of 5. Not even one team, DG. Are you surprised inside the top 25 when the playoff rankings came out on Tuesday?
Yeah, a little surprised, but realistically, Memphis has it right in front of them, and if not, South Florida's just there on the doorstep. And so, yeah, I don't think that they're good enough to be in the top 25, but they're going to somebody's getting into the playoffs.
Somebody has to, right? Right in your backyard. You're right in the middle of all of it. All right, let's come right downstairs below DG. Young Peyton, you're up next.
All right, we're heading over. Hold on. First, Zin already knows what I'm taking, right? We're taking the Broncos to cover the 9.5 at minus 110. Let's go. Broncos have covered the spread in their last 4 games as favorites against AFC West opponents. But put aside the numbers for a minute. I mean, you can't actually make a case that Geno Smith keeps this thing close on the road in Denver. Denver blows them out tonight. Denver -9.5 at -110. There's just one NBA game on tonight, as we mentioned it. I'm all over it. I got the Suns to cover the 2.5 tonight. We will see Jalen Green's Suns debut. I think he's going to be huge for them, not just tonight, but this season. A bucket getter that's not named Devin Booker is needed for Phoenix. James Harden out for personal reasons. Who in the world knows what's going on with Kawhi and his glass ankles? It means we'll probably see more minutes from Chris Paul tonight, who's averaging 2.5 points in 6 games. But he's a great guy. Chris Paul, a great guy. Give me Phoenix to cover.
Boy, he looks old. It's like he aged 10 years between last season. He looks slow. He looks old. God bless him for still wanting to be out there and playing. Now, when we have a very clear-cut showdown between big bro and little bro, between one rival against another rival, I feel like we need to have something on the line here. So what I propose is whoever wins gets to cut a trash-talking video for us to roll into Friday's show here on Coach and Company. Would both of you sign up for that?
Of course.
I mean, I know Peyton will. I will. I mean, I'm not going to trash talk if I win. I keep my, you know what? I keep my money, and that's enough winning for me. But if you'd like me to cut a video, I will cut one for you.
I
Coach,
would like that very much.
Yes. That was probably one of the most boring things I've ever heard in my life.
Boring.
Boring. All right, Zeno, bring it home. What do you got?
Sometimes boring wins. Gee, Peyton, I mean, I listen, if I do anything before my run on this show ends, before I die, before I retire, is to maybe get you to understand to stop laying points on the road within a division on a short week. Just don't do it. Okay, because you said Denver's going to blow them out. Let's look at real quick at the list of teams that Denver's blown out. Oh, it had to be the Titans. Nope, didn't blow them out. 1-score game. Oh, wait, it had to be the Colts. Nope, they lost that one outright. Oh, wait, it had to be the Jets. No, that was only 2 points. Oh, they blew out the Giants. Oh, no, wait, they didn't. They only won by 1. They blew out the Texans. They only won by 3. Who have they blown out? They have beaten 2 teams by more than 1 score this year. One would be the Bengals. The other would be the Cowboys. What do those teams have in common? They have the 2 worst defenses in the NFL. The worst. The Raiders are nowhere near the worst defense in the NFL. In fact, they actually have a decent, good defense here. I don't know if the Raiders can win this game, but when I hit with the 9.5 hit, Raph understands this. It was a buy point. It's not going to get to 10. I'll take the highest number I can get and take the Raiders here as the home dog. So I'm very, very content with my bet on the Las Vegas Raiders tonight. Geno Smith probably will throw a back-breaking pick late. That'll take the game from 7 to 14, and Peyton will cover because that's just sort of my luck. That's kind of the way.
Zeno, you know we do have commercial breaks that.
Oh yeah, by the way, Texas A&M college basketball teams are under 96.5. You know how hard it is to get to 100 in college basketball. A lot has to go right. Let's take the under.
Yeah, about as hard as it was for you to get into that take. All right, quickly. It was a great take, though. Quickly, we have the dog of the day. Yesterday, this is not an official pick. It's just fun. Yesterday, all 3 dogs did not win. Today, it's the Raiders, Georgia Southern, and the Clip Show. If you had to take one dog, DJ, let's start with you. We got about 10 seconds for each guy.
Yeah, I'll go Clippers. I think they do actually have a chance.
Raphael?
Same thing, Clippers. They have a really good chance of winning against the Suns.
All right, 2 there. Peyton?
I'm on Phoenix tonight, so give me Georgia Southern, baby. Let's go.
Zeno?
I'm on the Raiders and Georgia Southern, so it has to be the Clippers.
Do you think the Raiders can win on the field, Zeno?
I think they can win, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't bet them if I didn't think they could win.
Okay, very good. I like having a little showdown. I like having a little bit of this. All right, still to come. Great 2 hours here. Coach and Company, Coach and Bro. On the other side, we got a bunch of front page news. Also, Thursday Night Football, Raiders, Broncos. We get a little deeper. As Raphael said, maybe there's some props that we can help you look at. Then our NBA showcase every single day is coming up as well. Just getting started. It's a Thursday. It's a vibe. This is Coach and Company, and we are thrilled to be a part of Stadium, Bally Sports Live, Amazon Prime, DirecTV, and YouTube TV. At least somebody is. We're back right after this. All right, whenever stars get traded, there's always going to be a little kid out there that gets upset. How about this youngster when his dad told him that Sauce Gardner was going to the Colts, and then the Colts, well, they saw the viral video. Roll tape. All right. It is frozen at absolutely the perfect time. But I can tell you, gentlemen, that this young kid said, I'm no longer a Jets fan. I'm now a Colts fan. What do I do with my Sauce Gardner jersey? So the Colts sent him a new Sauce Gardner jersey. Zeno, you got to feel good for the Colts, who now they got the better end of the deal right now, but then also doing this kid a solid.
I feel better for the kid. He ended a life of misery and just pain by ending his Jets fandom. He's the real winner here. That is the real winner. He, at a young age, he made the smartest decision he could, because once you get to a certain point of rooting for the Jets, you're locked in for life. And so good for him. He's out. He was freed.
There's no doubt about it. I don't know what's worse, Raphael, Jets or being a Giants fan right now.
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know what's worse either, but the kid was smarter than the dad. The dad's like, no, you can still be a Jets fan. We got first round picks. No, the kid finally separated. The kid was smarter than the dad in that video.
All right, I think we have it real quick. Let's see. It's only like 12 seconds. Let's see if the video works now.
It's okay.
I want the Colts now.
What's going on, Bryce, Trey? Just want to say I appreciate y'all for the support. With that being said, I'm going to be giving y'all 2 of my first coach jerseys.
See, that's pretty cool. We didn't have to put in the tears and the screaming, Peyton. That's what, immature shows would do.
Well, that's awesome. He had both, right there in his own hands. Now the kids just need some Sauce Gardner chains, just need some Sauce big chains for him.
God, how lucky is Sauce Gardner? He has all-pro talent, but he's been stuck with the Jets. Now he's playing for a team that potentially could be the number 1 seed. My goodness. The Colts, very, very smart. And the Jets get 2 first-round picks. So I think both sides win. But, man, if I'm Sauce Gardner, I'm rejuvenated. I'm motivated. You saw the smile. I would be smiling too. All right, a lot of front-page news my guys need to dig into. We're back live in just 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Coach and company are part of 2 full hours on Stadium and Bally Sports Live every single Thursday. And don't forget, coming up today at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, an exclusive sit-down with one Karrion Kross, incredibly talented wrestler who just left the WWE. All right, now, normally at this time of the show, we have Phil McKagan, no filter. Phil is on a very important trip. He is the new head coach for the Berlin Thunder, and he is being introduced this Sunday, I believe either before the game or at halftime of the NFL game that is being played there, Atlanta and the aforementioned Colts. Very cool for us. He's on our team. Very cool for him. But for right now, let's do a little front page news. All right, gentlemen, and we're going to piggyback all the way through. One of the bets we did hit yesterday was Alex OV, as the cool kids call him, scoring his 900th career goal in the NHL. It's never been done before. He's one of the all-time greats. However, the opposing goal minder, his name is Jonathan Bennington, and he decided, nobody's going to look, and stuffed it down his drawers, thinking, I'm going to keep this thing, put it on eBay. Well, eventually they got it back. I'm not quite sure who took it from him with gloves. But Zeno, let me start with you, then DG and Peyton. Your thoughts on Bennington putting the record-setting puck down his pants?
Well, that's, where you hide something. Like when I go through the airport with illicit drugs, I usually stuff them in my pants. That's, natural reaction.
Me too.
Better than Michael Vick's weed water bottles, I suppose. But anyway, we digress here. Look, nice try. I get why he did it. I don't know. The column that I read made it seem like he was trying to do it nefarious. I thought he was doing it as like a joke.
It was. I'm joking about how he did it. Yes.
Like the column I read on a couple of websites made it seem like, well, the ref had to go up to him and scold him.
Yeah.
To get the puck back. The guy, it's not like he skated away and go, I don't have it. He gave it right back to him. Like, I would have done the same thing. I'm like, this might be worth something. Let me just see if anybody notices. So I laughed it off.
I think it was supposed to be funny, but now that we're hearing about it, like, Bennington is not a nice guy, that he actually was trying to be mean about this. But I guess my qualms with this whole thing is, Where is the interview after the game? Like, you cannot find him on an interview anywhere. That's stupid. Somebody missed a spot to interview him right after the game.
This was hilarious. But with a goalie mask, I mean, you can't see what his real intentions were while he was having a conversation with the ref. He might have planned on giving it personally to Ovi after the game, but when he's got that mask on and no one can see his face, he looks so guilty when the referee came over to him and asked him to hand it over, and he had to go digging in his pants for it. So I just hope they washed it afterwards. Pretty funny to watch that last night.
Well, the still shot was like him doing that. Oh God! It's like him doing this. We've seen times in baseball and football where somebody will score their first touchdown or hit their first home run, and they don't know, and they'll throw it into the crowd. What if he would have thrown it into the crowd? That would have been something, because remember the kid a couple of weeks ago at the football game that he caught Bills and then he jetted out of there? That's what I would have done with that damn puck. You're damn sure that's what I would have done. But congratulations to Ovi. 900 goals.
By the way, Bennington got a lot of goals past him last night. I think he gave up 4 of them and was pulled in the third period.
That's the only one he stopped.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only one. Oh, there we go. 6-1. All right, let's go to the NBA for topic number 2, because Wemby got off to an incredible start this season. But last night, the Lakers may have figured out exactly how to attack him, because they attacked him. They got him in foul trouble 3 in the first half, and he was never really a factor. And then if you watched at the end of the game, the Lakers somehow, despite all their mistakes, won their 5th game in a row. Luka, another double-double, 37, 13 assists, 9 rebounds, I believe. But this was about Wemby. And Zeno, I really felt like for the first time this year, he looked like the young, weaker kid that he should be, and not the dominant NBA superstar that we want him to be this year.
I try not to extrapolate too much from one bad game or even a small sample of bad games. I mean, it's a long NBA season. Guys are going to have stretches that are less than impressive, and they're going to have high-level stretches that make you feel like they're on top of the world. I don't think this is an indictment on Wemby's overall talent or ability. Probably just a bad night for him. I'm sure he'll go off again here real soon.
Well, if you look at the last game against the Suns, they did the exact same thing to him, where it put him in foul trouble, and they end up losing the Spurs. And so now back-to-back games losses, but also back-to-back nights where he's been in foul trouble the entire game. He actually fouled out in this one. There might be some tape now that we're seeing that where you can get underneath of him, draw some charges, make him force the ball out, and make the other people beat you at the Spurs. I think that's what we're seeing now on the coach's film.
I think Wemby looked really soft last night. There were plenty of times he would go to the rim, but just couldn't finish because he was expecting to get fouled. Now, when we had a lane, he threw it down, but an open lane when he threw it down. But with some defenders in the lane, he had some trouble finishing over them last night. What he's been doing for the Spurs is sensational, and he needs some help offensively. So the Spurs are going to be for real once they get De'Aaron Fox back, and baby De'Aaron Fox didn't play last night. Dylan Harper, he's been great for them too at 19 years old. Spurs are good and young, and they can be a real contender.
Yeah, there were a couple of moments in the game last night. They were up double digits in the third quarter. They had the game in control. Instead of pushing it out, then they brought it back to obviously tied down the stretch. He banged knees at one point and just stopped playing. And the Lakers grabbed the ball, took it out of bounds, and the Spurs were just standing there, and the Lakers went down and had a dunk uncontested. That stuff cannot happen. And they end up losing by 2 points. It cannot happen. But Zeno, I think I agree with your take the most, that there's a lot of up and down. He's got to figure out how to be a little bit tougher than what he showed last night. If you're going to bang a knee, throw the ball somewhere else. Don't just hold it so they can take it away from you. Now, speaking of frustrating, he's not one of my. The most frustrating player that I watch in the NBA day in and day out, week in and week out, is Karl Anthony Towns. Cat. And he said last night, he is still stunned by the trade from Minnesota to the Knicks. But gentlemen, he didn't get traded yesterday. He got traded last year. How is he still hanging on to the stunned? Stunned? And they score 137, win by 20. Zeno, stunned?
Yeah, look, when you get drafted by an organization, you grow up in an organization, you're the biggest player in the organization for a long time. You almost get a sense of invincibility or superiority about, what your status means. And for the T-Wolves to just ship that off saying, and this was after a trip to the Western Conference Finals, right? Like this was after reaching a height where that team hadn't reached in a really long time. You think, okay, run this thing back, and then they say sayonara. I mean, listen, man, sometimes getting dumped by a girl stings with you. It stays with you for a long time. You don't forget that kind of pain. I mean,
Yeah.
Cat's in a good place right now. I mean, obviously the Knicks are a title contender again, but I understand where he's coming from with it.
Yeah, when he's playing his old team, right? He's reminiscing about that, but also the reporters are asking about, seeing the other guys on the other side of the court and just playing your old team. So I think it was more of a reminiscing thing. We're bringing back a lot of those memories where he probably was stunned. And in all honesty, he's at a better spot. I know he's not playing alongside Ant, but he's still with the Knicks and over in the Eastern Conference, which is the biggest thing for him. I still hate watching him play. There's nothing about his game that I like or enjoy. But yeah, he probably is still a little stunned.
Dude, get over it. He's talking about it like it's the biggest trade that's happened the last 10 years. I mean, this isn't Luka to the Lakers. This is Cat to the Knicks. Like, dude, really? I mean, you can't say, yeah. And after the game, he goes, yeah, and it's weird not to see Towns on the back of those fire black jerseys they were wearing last night. Like, no. Why are you saying how fire your old team's jerseys were? It's just weird, and he needs to get over it.
The face that he uses when he has one of those dumb fouls that sends him to the bench, it drives me insane. It's like when a defensive back gets a pass interference. I'm like, Cat, you've done it for years. Move your feet. Play some defense. Shoot from 24, not 28. Now, huge news in the world of sports betting, which obviously Coach and Company is a part of. I have content at ESPN. Zeno has content at ESPN. I work for the PGA Tour, do all of their betting streams on the big events at ESPN. And ESPN Bet, as of December 1st, gentlemen, will be no more. But clearly they're working behind the scenes because they announced it this morning. And then just minutes later, they announced a big new partnership with DraftKings. Zeno, your thoughts on ESPN Bet going away, and now DraftKings will be the official betting partner of the place where you and I both work?
Let's be clear on what the ESPN Bet partnership was. It was a licensing agreement with Penn Gaming. ESPN never ran the sports book. And that said, Penn Gaming / ESPN Bet had horrible lines. They were not sharp. They were soft, and it wasn't a very widely bet sports book. And that's sort of the reason why ESPN is pulling off the licensing agreement and now going with DraftKings. It's a smart business move for ESPN. It's a smart move for DraftKings, one of the biggest names in sports betting, to partner with the worldwide leader and continue a partnership of growth together. So I think it's incredibly well done by ESPN. And the big loser here is Penn Gaming. Once again, this is the second sponsorship of a sports book they've crashed out on.
Yeah, Penn Gaming is just losing at every chance they get. And their book, as we've talked about already, it sucked. Like the ESPN Bet app, just overall, it wasn't good. The lines weren't good. And because of that, people weren't placing bets. You can't go into a world and be a sports book and have terrible lines and have nothing for anybody to play. So yes, I think that it's smart that they're separating, and honestly, they need to be out of the sports book game.
And that was quick. They were gone in 2-3 years. And I mean, you go 2 years and you go in, and I was really surprised by how awful their lines were. I thought ESPN Bet would have some legitimate good lines to bet on, but so many people like myself would go in there and then say, oh, okay, let's see what DraftKings has. And boom, you're on DraftKings the rest of the time. And that's for your picks. And too many people just did that. And here we are just 2 years later, and they're done.
Well, when you're last to the party, to get people to come over from being at FanDuel or being at DraftKings already, or even BetMGM for that matter, you got to have something that's above and beyond where you already were. And the big thing that they were trying to do for the technology was go into a game like the Clippers in Phoenix tonight, click on a button, and that would take you right into your sports book. That never materialized. And sports bettors, we like convenience. We want to make it easy. And hopefully now with DraftKings, it can be a lot easier than it was with the ESPN Bet app. All right, still to come on the other side, Week 10. Hard to believe, but we have arrived. Week 10 in the NFL tonight. It's the Raiders and the Broncos. And my guys break it down better than anybody. Then coming up, the NBA Showcase, Clippers and the Phoenix. What do we think as far as props are concerned as well? Just getting started. Halfway home. Coach and Company, Stadium, Valley Sports Live. All right, gentlemen. I like a lot of obscure stories. I really, really do. And there's this one. Compton which is about 40 miles from where I'm sitting right now. I don't go there very often for obvious reasons. Community college. They have a 50-year-old and a 45-year-old former mayoral candidate and his son all on their football teams. Apparently anybody can play football at Compton Community College. I don't even know what their team looks like, but very, very unique.
I assume it's the Allenville Penitentiary uniforms that they had in
Longest yard.
the longest. But yeah, I mean, why not? Like give it a whirl. Listen, if you feel like Compton Community College is a place for you, you still got some eligibility left. Give it a run.
I think they have all 4 years, Peyton.
Who doesn't have eligibility left anymore? I mean, give this guy 20 years of eligibility. He's going to be out there until he's 70. But no, I think it's pretty funny seeing him run out there. And what position he's playing or no?
No, I don't know. It is probably the bench.
Got to be a both. I was going to say he's got to be a both sides guy.
Oh my gosh. It's got to be probably the kicker or a holder. It does. That's the first thing I thought of, Zeno, was the longest yard and all those old dudes playing with Adam Sandler in the new one anyway, and Burt Reynolds. That's all I thought of.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I may have to go to a game. Yeah, I think it probably have 2 or 3. I may have to make the drive. I might have to make the drive. It's absolutely incredible. Real quick, we have about 40 seconds left. As we head in now to Thursday Night Football tonight, Zeno, real quick, we now no longer have any teams with less than 2 losses. Where do you rank the Broncos with where the other 2 loss teams are?
I mean, look, they find a way to get wins. There's a lot of wins on their schedule that should have been losses. It's amazing how they've been able to do it. Credit to their Sean Payton for that. But I think that, they still have a long way to go before we're going to crown them at the top of the AFC West. They got 2 games with the Chiefs left still. It's not going to be an easy road.
All right, we're going to talk all about it right now. We are back live in just 5 seconds. Okay, we are halfway home here on Coach and Company, but you do not need to change the dial at the top of the hour. We've got a whole nother show for you, the Coach and Bro Show. It's going to be amazing. We talk about all the biggest stories in the world of pro wrestling. If you're watching us live right now, it is 10:32 in the East. It is 7:32 in the West. If you're just getting up and getting out of bed, welcome. Thank you for starting your day with us. A quick reminder, tonight, very special episode of the Coach and Bro Show. Karrion Killer Kross, one of the biggest stars in all of pro wrestling. He will join us live. It's going to be a very candid, in-depth conversation about what happened at the WWE and what his future holds, and also what the future holds with his lovely wife, who was also released by the WWE. They're a dynamic duo, and we are thrilled to have him on the show later today. Now, Raphael, I need to see your face as we head into week number 10, Raiders and Broncos. Anything going on from a line movement number perspective?
It all depends on what team you like. If you like the Broncos, wait. I think we're going to see 8.5, maybe even 8 by kickoff. If you like the Raiders, which I'm leaning towards, there's still a couple 9.5s out there. South Point and I think DraftKings have 8.5 already. So no matter what team you like, make sure you get the best number because it's a point difference. And in player prop bets, the biggest prop bet mover right now is rookie running back from the Raiders, Ashton Gentry. His receiving yards opened up at 15.5. It is now 19.5. And we still have the all morning, all afternoon. We will probably see 20.5 for his receiving yards.
Wow. How prevalent is it that a prop will start and move over 5 yards between the time it comes out and 48 hours later?
Normally when you see this kind of a low total, 42.5, 43.5, you don't see that big of a move, especially on the dog side. Now, if it was Bo Nix, his receiving or his rushing yards moved, I think, 2 yards since the opening number. That's if they're at home, you see that. But for a visiting team like the Raiders who struggle on offense, this is a significant line move.
Yeah, right now the Raiders come in at 2-6. Last place in the AFC West. Denver is 7-2. All right, let's dive in a little bit deeper. It's time to kick it off. All right, this is a big one, Zeno, because when I look at the AFC, right now there's a huge battle for the number 1 seed. New England is 7-2, leading the AFC East. Pittsburgh 5-3, leading the AFC North. Indianapolis 7-2 after losing to Pittsburgh last week. And then you got the Denver Broncos that, as you said at the break, they've won a lot of games that honestly they should not have won. So as we head into tonight, and Thursdays are usually just get in, get out, injury free, especially when you get this late in the season. Why are you so bullish on the Raiders covering, but Denver still winning a close game?
Again, it's because it's a huge number to cover on a short week, and not only that, the Broncos haven't really separated from anybody except the two worst defenses in the league in Dallas and in Cincinnati. I mean, the Raiders are a competent enough team. If Geno Smith doesn't turn the ball over 3 times and throw a backbreaking pick late in the game, then I think Denver can keep this thing close enough. And again, with a total at 42.5, like to cover that number with a total that low means that the way the Broncos do it is what Raf's bet is keep the Raiders under 60 points in the game. I mean, that's really 27-16 gets you home, right? Like that's the way this thing stays under.
It's really, really hard when you have, if you want to bet both those things, which is why Chuck always says they're correlated, DG. Do you agree with Zeno's analysis?
Very much correlated. And honestly, I'm probably on the Raiders side, even though, they just traded away their number one receiver. I still think that number being so big it's like a blinking red light, which means we're probably all wrong and Peyton's right. But it's a blinking red light to me that +9 number on a short week.
Now, the last time we had this issue and you and Zeno went toe-to-toe, Peyton, you won that argument. What was that game? What was the team? Can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 weeks, it's been the Chargers covered, the Ravens covered, and then now we're at here we are in Denver. And I mean, we're all saying here that Geno Smith is going to cover and cover against one of the best defenses in football. I mean, that pick is about as reliable as Jaylen Brown's hair dye. Broncos defense is the 4th best in points allowed. Best defenses in the red zone, best defense on 3rd down, and they lead the NFL with 40 sacks. Jonathan Cooper has 7 by himself. Broncos covered tonight, and it's going to happen defensively because Vegas can't score.
What'd you say, Zeno, real quick? Couldn't understand you.
Patrick Surtain. He's not out for the game. Their best cover defender is out for the game. I mean, that matters.
It definitely matters. It definitely matters if they, but then they also lost their best wide receiver too to a trade. So we'll see. But I love the back and forth. That's why I love doing this show. Not everybody agrees, and I love the personalities. I love both of you. You guys can do this all day, and I'm here for it. Now, let's look at some playmakers. Let's go to the quarterbacks tonight because you got a couple of guys. Bo Nix, who started off like a house of fire, Zeno, kind of cooled off a little bit. Then you got Geno, who was great in Seattle at times, but has just not figured it out for the Raiders. You see these numbers? We got it from BetMGM. Anything pop off here?
I mean, I would probably lean on the under in the passing yards. If the game is going under and there's not a lot of scoring, that means there's a lot of incompletions and the yards don't get there. But I would look to also, it's not up there, but a Bo Nix rushing prop. I think his number's at 21.5 yards is probably the way you go. He's always good to take off. The Raiders pass rush, at least on the corners with Max Crosby, is going to probably set him off his spot a little bit, and he'll take off and run. So I'd look there.
DG, what about you?
I'm the same on the Bo Nix rushing yards. I think he's at the 5.5 is the rushing attempts. I like the over to that. But also I'm looking at the passing yards. I'm going to go under on Nix just because I don't see this game being a track meet because of that. I think they're going to try to control the ground, try to control the line of scrimmage, and they're going to go ahead and rush the ball a lot.
It feels that way, Peyton, because Thursdays, as Zeno said, are a day when you just try to get out without injuries because then you get 10 days off to really almost get a second bye week, perhaps. So tonight may not be a lot of bells and whistles, just let's get the job done.
Yeah, I would stay away from Bo Nix's yards, but I really like his passing touchdowns, 1.5. He's thrown 2 or more touchdowns in 5 of his last 6 Broncos home games. So give me that. And Geno Smith, I want to take his passing yards over, but he's thrown 11 picks now, and Denver allows only 186 passing yards a game. This game might be such a blowout that we see Kenny Pickett come in at some point tonight. I'm taking the under on Geno Smith.
Wow, Kenny Pickett. I did not have that on my bingo card to be mentioned on the show today. Let's flip it over to the aforementioned running backs who could get a lot of run tonight. Ashton Jeanty, the great first-round pick out of Boise State, and J.K. Dobbins, who seems to have new life coming over from the Chargers and now being the featured back for the Broncos. Zeno, what do you see here?
I mean, Look, if you're on the Raiders, you better hope that Genty gets over 15.5 rushing attempts. That means that they're holding onto the ball, they're moving the chains, and he's a big part of that. This is a really tough defense to run against, but if it's Pete Carroll, and the Pete Carroll, I know he's not going to go away from the run anytime soon. So let's go with Ashton Genty over 15.5.
Okay, 15.5 for Genty. What about you, DG?
Yeah, I'm looking at his receiving yards, and he's at 18.5. I like his receiving yards because I think they're going to have to do some catch up in this game. But also the Harvey touchdown, I believe it's like plus 210, which is the backup for J.K. Dobbins on Denver. I like him to get in the end zone. He's done it in 3 straight weeks.
Sometimes you can find some sneaky good value on players that aren't featured, like right here, like what you just said. You're always prepared with all the players. What do you make here, young Peyton?
Yeah, Genty, the run game has not been good in Vegas. Genty has not averaged more than 3.5 yards carry in his last 3 games. Hard to break that streak tonight against a really good Broncos front, like Zeno said. And they allow 93 yards a game on the ground. That's 8th best in the league. I'll go under on Genty, but J.K. Dobbins' last 3 home games, he's rushed for 111, 81, and 101 yards. Let's keep the streak alive tonight. I'll take him over.
Wow. Okay. Over 69.5, 4 straight times. All right. Now let's go to the wide receivers. And they did have talent on both sides of the ball. But now Brock Bowers, and he's a stud. There's no doubt about it, Zeno. He's a stud. But when we're throwing up tight ends on our graphic, that means the wideouts, and on the Broncos side, Courtland Sutton is an absolute dog. But you see his number, which means they don't use him as much as they should because they're very even and run the ball a lot. What do you make here?
Well, Brock Bowers has always been the number 1 target in the passing game in Las Vegas. I don't care who's playing wide receiver. That's the guy that's going to get the ball. Number feels a little low. Busted out last week in his return, 12 reception, 127 yards. Doesn't need that much, but he's likely going to get in the 70s tonight, if not higher, especially if the Raiders have any chance to win. But even if they don't, they're throwing late, they're throwing to him. And on the flip side, Courtland Sutton is not the guy leading the team in targets. That's Troy Franklin. His receiving yards number is in the mid to low 40s. That's the guy you got to go play over, not Courtland Sutton.
That's the hidden value that we're talking about. Sutton is the big name guy, but it's not always that. Just like in Minnesota, you got Addison. Sometimes he's over JJ. It just all depends. DG, your thoughts?
I like Brock Bowers. If you look at the game last week for Denver, they went up against Dalton Schultz for the Texans, and they allowed 77 receiving yards for him. Brock Bowers runs circles around him. He's going to do that, but also the receptions made, 6.5, huge number. I believe that he goes over that. 13 targets, 12 catches last week.
That's normally the ceiling. Once in a while, you'll have those rare guys like Puka Nacua. They'll get a 7.5, maybe an 8, but 6.5 is kind of as high as they go. So you can see how much the books thinks he'll be targeted tonight, young Peyton.
Yeah, Brock Bowers recorded 97 or more receiving yards in 5 of his last 6 road games. I take him over tonight. Courtland Sutton, I like his longest reception, 30, 39, 32 in his last 3 games. It's at 23.5. That seems really low considering he's hit this in 7 of his last 9 games. The 2 games he didn't, he still had longs of 22 and 17. So he's been a deep ball guy all season. I take his longest reception tonight.
And we've been playing that a lot, but rather than the longest completion, you can save 10 yards on average from if you pick a specific receiver. We got about 20 seconds for you, Zeno. When you compare the Broncos to everybody else, obviously tonight is a must-win. How far do you think they can ultimately go?
They might win a playoff game. The AFC is too packed. I mean, unless somehow they secure some level of home field advantage, I don't see them winning more than one playoff game.
DG, what about you?
They have to be at home, and I think that's the biggest thing for them. You got to hold that home field advantage for sure.
Yeah, and right now they're tied for that number 1 seed, Peyton.
Just seems like they play so much better defense at home. I like them maybe getting by 1 or 2 weeks in the playoffs at home.
We don't talk about it a lot, but the altitude, I've played in it more than once. It's a real thing. It is a real thing. Players don't like to make excuses, but that altitude is really, really difficult. All right, great show so far. A lot of good energy coming up on the other side. Every single day of the week, there's at least one NBA national game. Tonight, there's just one game, period. We'll break it down. Clippers and the Phoenix Suns on the other side. Also, we'll lock it in as well. It's Coaching Company right here on Stadium. All right, boys. Sometimes wins feel better than others. And when you lose your head coach to a betting scandal and then you've got to go out there by yourself, the Portland Trailblazers, Zeno, appear to be a little bit better than we thought. Still no Dame time, but they come back from 22 points down last night against the defending champions to win 121-119. Incredibly exciting game. Where do you think the Blazers are right now, and what do you make of that win?
Well, I mean, the Thunder were on a back-to-back, so it's not like I'm all that surprised that Portland was able to pull off a win and give Oklahoma City their first loss of the year. And guess what? Oklahoma City wasn't going to win every single game they played this year, so they were going to lose at some point. But yeah, I mean, look, it's a nice feather in the Thunder's cap. And listen, the numbers would tell you that they didn't really deserve to win. They shot worse than Oklahoma City did. They had more turnovers than Oklahoma City did. They got out-rebounded by Oklahoma City. Somehow they pull out a pretty miraculous win.
They certainly did. And right now, they're in the 6th spot. So 5-3 start, young Peyton, for them.
Yeah, I mean, great ending last night. It gets really loud in Portland. Thunder were leading the entire game, but those fourth quarter legs got tired after a back-to-back, and the Thunder couldn't hit from deep in the fourth at all. Great win from the Blazers last night, who played really hard. They always play extremely hard. No stars, but Danny Avdia is one of the most underrated players in the league since they went out and got him from the Wizards. Don't forget, they got Dame on the roster. Probably not going to play this year. But next season, this could be a real contender.
No, and I think the fans locally are really starving for a good team, DG. They have been for years.
Well, distraction makes the team much closer. And the way they keep on winning, I think this is going to put momentum all season long. So I like this Portland team. They're going to see some teams are going to come, we're going to Portland, easy W. And it's not going to be an easy W as OKC last night.
And hopefully, because of all these national games, we're going to see a lot more teams like the Blazers nationally than always being the Lakers, always being the Celtics. I think it's going to be pretty cool. And then we can make some new stars in the league as well. All right, time to head for the exits. NBA Showcase, lock in our best bets. Coaching Company, we're back live, 5 seconds. All right, let's stay in the NBA. And tonight, only one game before tomorrow. Just a whole list of teams that are playing on Friday. But one of the cool things, guys, is that the NBA, with all these new deals with Amazon, with NBC, and with ESPN, they have factored in nationally televised games every day of the week. You can't get any better than that. And tonight, the Clip Show, we're already talking about Zeno resting, injuries. Kawhi Leonard, if he doesn't play 4 or 5 games in a row, he's not shocking us. This team is right now fun to watch. The other night against Miami, it was maybe one of the most fun games of the year, but they're always going to fight the injury bug. What do you make it tonight? They're getting 2.5 on the road in Phoenix.
Feels like a spot to take the dog here after the Clippers losing 2 in a row. I don't know the level of sense of urgency here, but they get to stay sort of out west. It's not a long road trip for them. So we know basketball players love to complain about long road trips and being in an airplane for 2 or 3 hours, but it's still just a better team here. And I think the cream rises to the top.
Yeah, those private jets are tough to get on and off and walk on the tarmac. It's first world problems. Young Peyton, I know this is not really your squad, but it's your town, and your dad loves him some Jerry West, who was a Clippers guy. Are you a guy tonight for the Clip Show?
No, of course. My best bet is the Suns to cover. Let's go, baby. -2.5. I mean, the Clips are a good team when they're healthy. They got some good players, but James Harden, everything goes through James Harden offensively. He comes off every pick and roll. He either floats it or he floats it to Zubac for a dunk. I mean, that's their whole offense. And on the Suns side, Jalen Green's debut tonight. They need another scorer. I think he's going to be huge for them this year. No Dylan Brooks tonight for the Suns. But you know what? They don't have to lock anybody up like they usually have to because the Clippers don't have any stars playing tonight. So Dylan Brooks is not going to be a big factor defensively with him not in tonight. I still like the Suns winning this game and putting up a lot of points.
By the way, the other night, I don't know who the local announcer is, but I was watching the Suns game, and Dylan Brooks had sunglasses on sitting on the bench. And he said, do you know he had a legendary head coach. He goes, do you know what that coach would have done to one of us if we walked in? He was all iced out and sunglasses on. Oh, DG. And he came 2 stops ago from your neck of the woods.
Yeah, we don't like Dylan Brooks around these neck of the woods. He is, we're Brooks haters, right? We tried to trade him to Phoenix so long ago. It didn't go through. But I look at this game tonight. It is going to be more of Bradley Beal, but also Derek Jones Jr., Zubac are going to be there on the Clippers side. But if you look at the other side with the Suns, and I know Peyton likes them, but bringing Jalen Green into the fold there, it might take a little bit back from Devin Booker. So this might be a spot where, yes, you're bringing a really good player and Jalen Green, but he's a chunker too. And so you only have one basketball on the Suns side, so that might hurt with your chemistry.
And as far as the Clippers are concerned, Raphael, it was evident the other night against Miami when Norman Powell lit them up that last year in times like these, you would have Norman Powell to go out there and score 30. They don't have him anymore. So who do they go to when James Harden and Kawhi Leonard are not on the court?
Well, if you are looking for to play the Clippers, you wait, because every NFL parlay is going to attach the Phoenix Suns on there because they're going to see who is not playing for the Clippers. So they're going to add the Suns. So if you get a better number, which I believe will probably get plus 3.5, maybe even a 4, it's because of the NFL game. They're parlaying this one and only NBA game. Wait for the better number for the Clippers.
It's always fascinating. All right, we need a big day. It's time to lock it in. All right, 10 seconds or less, just 1 or 2 nuggets is all that I need. DG, start us off.
Tonight should be a track meet with UTSA Roadrunners going against South Florida over the 67.5 at minus 110. UTSA averages 34 points a game. USF 39.2. They're going to score. Let's go to Derek Jones Jr. Speaking of scoring, we're going to go over the 11.5 points at minus 110. He's over a 5 of 7 tonight. No Kawhi, no Harden. He scores a lot.
Very, very good. Raphael, let's talk a little Thursday night football.
We're going to Raiders team total under 16.5. The Raiders have only scored 6 points in their last 2 road games. I think they struggle scoring tonight. And then give me Appalachian State first half minus 3.5 at minus 105. They've won 15 out of their last 18 home games. I think they'll take care of business tonight.
Mr. Zeno.
Raiders plus 9.5. The Broncos have only won 2 games this year by more than 1 score. Those were against the 2 worst defenses in the league in Cincinnati and Dallas. Texas A&M and college hoops, team total under 96.5. Why? Because it's really hard to score 100 points in a college basketball game. A lot has to go right. We'll beg for something to go wrong here against Texas Southern.
Young Peyton, talk to me.
What's better than a young Peyton Zeno showdown on a Thursday night, baby? Broncos to cover because Geno Smith is absolutely terrible. He's just terrible. And Phoenix gets pretty loud at home, and they'll be loud tonight after they see Devin Booker and Jalen Green taking turns on which Clipper defenders they are going to fry. No James Harden, no Kawhi. Kawhi's got ankle issues. Give me the Suns to cover at home.
All right, very, very good. Now, also at the end of every single show, and a lot of times this will lead to a cash ticket, we try to make you a little smarter. Raphael.
This one's very interesting because each of the Denver Broncos' last 8 home games following a win have gone over the total. You know, the 9 Thursday night football games this year, 8 of them have gone over the total.
Oh, and you bet the team total under.
Yeah, because the Broncos are probably going to crush me and put 30 points on the board.
31-13. That could happen. It really, really could. I'm telling you, numbers. I think there was a show called Numbers Don't Lie. Real quick, I do want to give some flowers, guys. Last night, and it drives me nuts when it's always without. So the Warriors didn't have Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green. I get that, but Russell Westbrook, 204th triple-double, setting a record, 18th NBA year, and the Kings come back from down big against Golden State to win 121-116. Zeno, say what you want about Russell Westbrook being a teammate. He's played for 7 teams, but this is an amazing number, and he plays as hard as anybody ever in the NBA.
I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, right? Like, we're at the point where he's a Hall of Famer. So, yeah, I mean, it's keep the records going, Russ.
Young Peyton, this guy, I mean, 23, 16, and 10.
I actually met him when I was 10 or 11 years old, and since then he's been my favorite player for my entire life. I just love when he plays. He plays so hard, and now he's coming off the bench playing even harder. I just have so much respect for him. He's an awesome player.
DG?
Yeah, if you look at Russell Westbrook, he's a guy that honestly years ago you'd have thought been amazing, but unfortunately, he hasn't had the wins. He hasn't won the championship, but the dude puts up stats every game.
Raphael?
Why did Denver let him go? I'm still blown away that he's not in a Nuggets jersey.
All right. Real quick, don't forget Karrion Cross tonight at 5 p.m. Eastern time. It'll probably go like an hour or so. I would say it'll go to 6. Depending on how, it may even go to 7. I'm not quite sure.
Thanks,
Thank you, Zeno. Thank you, Zeno.
Thanks,
That's
great.
Thank you, Zeno. Thank you, Zeno. Oh, my God, Zeno. The gift that keeps on giving. Your thoughts?
I mean, listen, I could wake up Christmas morning with 6 or 7 gifts under the tree. Couldn't be better than that.
Oh, my God. My kids just came in, gave me a hug during one of the breaks, and I was like, oh, my God, they're going to love this stuff. They really, really are. Gentlemen, well done today. We got to get back on a streak here. Let's start tonight. All right, producer man, give me that one shot. As I said, Karrion Cross today at 5 p.m. Eastern time on our BTT YouTube page. Shout out to my gorgeous daughter, Kayana. She's got her play debut tonight. Papa and Mama Coach are here visiting from Kansas, so they will be in the house. And you guys know all of us here that have our kids, they come first always. So can't wait to see her here tonight. But I will be on the premium pop-up before that at 8 p.m. Eastern time with Raphael and Mikey P. In the meantime, there's just one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. My entire crew, damn it, do I love them all. My man, Zeno, Young Peyton, DG, Raphael, producer man, and Mikey P always helping behind the scenes. I am simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's what we're all about every single day, but we're not done. Coaching, bro, coming up after the break, the top of the hour, right here on Stadium. Have a great day.